Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch, back with Legacy Lands for a second run and a really enjoyable run. On Monday night we played with Ali on MTGO, Albert Lindblom, who was I guess a deck specialist with Legacy Lands, which was really nice to have him to kind of take me through and training wheel me, I guess, with Legacy Lands. But being a player who's played the deck before, it was nice to kind of have those kind of basic skills there to leverage from a learning aspect. It was pretty nice to have some plays that came up that I was able to bring up that came out to be pretty good ones, which is nice. But yeah, just really enjoyed the deck. This is a donation deck list from Julian, so a huge thank you for that. And just looking forward to playing some more. And there they are. Hey Jide, welcome. But yeah, I'm not going to change anything from the list that we made on Monday. The only changes we made to the prior list was adding in the 3 Richard ports. And I believe what we took out was Dark Depths number 3, Stage number 4. And I think it was... that's going to get me. But if you watch that stream, it's on my YouTube channel, and you can catch the changes there. But I've kind of broken it down to sort of Mana Denial, our green and red sources, kind of the ways we can win through the Dark Depths, Thespian stage, or Saga end stage, ways we can kind of play a turn 1 acceleration piece, interaction with creatures, and I guess enchantments and artifacts with Beseiju, which is really strong in this list, having Loam to put it back into your hand, Expedition Map to go and find it, which is pretty cool. Blast Zone is just like a nice sweeper against some decks, especially decks like Elves. Tabernacle, a little bit of a sweeper too, but also just to keep some creature decks in check. It was Field of the Dead, correct. We weren't running the fields just because we are running the full Saga packages. Field's definitely interesting though, and you can definitely see the power level of it right now in 8 Mulch. Punishing Fire as well, just quite nice, especially in this deck where, although things like DRC are going to become 3/3s, with this deck going wide on mana and having access to Grove, you can still kill a 3/3 DRC. Probably not mana efficient in regards to 1 mana versus 5, but still just a nice reoccurring way to have a little bit of reach. Crop rotations, mainly for some of the key spells like Karakas and Bog. You could say things like Tabernacle as well, or Maze are pretty key, but having access to these is really strong and can do some really sort of backbreaking things to opponent strategies. And then 2 Endurance main deck, which I think is really nice. I think Endurance is an incredible card and probably one of the strongest green printings in the last 5 years. Up there with Elvish Reclaimer, up there with Once Upon a Time. Loam, using this art, I'm a huge fan of original art, but I know Ali is a big fan of this art, so going to go ahead with this one, which is still really, really nice. And I think this art especially would be really nice in a retro bordered Loam if we ever get one. That'd be very cool. Crucible on this list, which I definitely don't mind. It's like a nice way to get lands back without having to put in the mana of Loam, and works really well with Saga, of course, so that's pretty cool. And the board is pretty clean, which is really cool. We have the 4 blasts for the blue decks. We have Needle and Thran Foundry for Saga targets. Thran Foundry, probably one that some people don't know. It's a 1 mana artifact that for 1 and tap you can exile it, and then target player shuffles their graveyard into their library. So looking at graveyard decks, obviously a little bit slow against Reanimator to find it with Saga, but getting it in your opening hand's quite nice. And then Doomsday is the big one. So in response to the Thassa's Oracle trigger, you can put the cards in the graveyard back into their library, and they will most likely lose from there, which is quite nice. Sphere for the blue decks and a lot of the unfair decks. Force of Vigor for the other unfair decks. Also the sort of Knight of the Reliquary Loam Mirrors force is quite good, especially shutting down cards like Sylvan Library and fast starts from Mox Diamond. And then Surgical, just a really nice kind of catch-all for the graveyard decks. Why do they move away from Gamble? That's a really good question. I think because instead of playing Gamble, they move towards a build with Explorations and Valakut Explorations as a way to gain card advantage. Yeah, that's also a really good point by Jide, is that a lot of your non-punishing fire and life no loam cards just became really good, so discarding those was pretty tough, but yeah, there's some great points. Let's get into a league and see how this goes. I know Ali is looking to do a build with Gamble because of a new card called Currency Converter. And I'll pop this in here so you can have a look, because Parole, as an old lands player, I'm sure you'll really enjoy that. It's a really good breakdown of the card and why he thinks it'll see play. And Maximus, I think the status above is exactly what I would say about the card. I think Ali had a really nice explanation of why he would play it in the deck. Sweet. Legacy, play points, red-green lands. Nice. But yeah, I think it's a really strong card, especially as just a one-of, as an Urza's Saga target. Obviously really good in your opener with cards like Mox Diamond, but pretty cool. You don't think it makes Gamble worth it? Yeah, that's fair enough. Maybe if Currency Converter itself had a way to put a card discarded from your graveyard back into your hand, that'd be kind of cool, but I know with lands as well, it's pretty key to keep a decent hand with some sort of plan. I want to see some sort of acceleration, but also an engine. So I don't want to keep a hand that just kind of does nothing. And that was kind of nice. That was probably the best part about having Ali on the stream, was talking about openings and what sort of hands you keep. All right. Up against Lalata. And this is one of those hands where, like, we have a turn 4 kill with Yav Stage and a land. We can tap 2, crop away. Yeah, we can crop away the other land, and then Yavimaya allows Dark Depths to tap for mana that we can create a stage. It's actually a pretty interesting hand. The one thing it doesn't have is an engine, because it has interaction in Wasteland. I guess it does have an engine in Saga, potentially. Oh, we still on Decktech? Yeah, sorry. There we go. But definitely an interesting one. I don't mind it if I saw this. Like, having the Saga is really nice. The crop, just to have some liability as well, is really good. I'm gonna see how this goes. I like it also just has land drops, makes green, which is great. Trop Ponder. Interesting. You don't see too much Trop these days, so straight away I'm thinking something like blue-green Omni, or potentially a rug deck. They chose to shuffle with the Ponder, so that's a pretty good reason to Wasteland here. The nice thing about Wasteland there as well is it kind of resets our game, and so I just get another turn to try to draw into something like an Exploration or a Mox Diamond. But yeah, Trop Ponder Polluted Delta makes me think it's going to be a combo deck. Yeah, the Bant Triome looks really cool. Swamp. Okay. Yeah, there we go. At least Wasteland doesn't really give away a whole lot about what we're doing. Wishclaw, that's fine. Interesting. So if we have a way here to accelerate, we can Besage the Wishclaw, which would be pretty awesome. We don't. Yeah, it's going to be Tess. Okay. The giveaway here being Chromox. Ant typically still plays the Wishclaw, but not this. So the question is like, how much of my deck do I want to give away? Like the big cards in the border are the spheres. Pyroblasts are okay, but the spheres are really what I want to be hitting. So I'd like to not give away too much. With the crop, I guess we can hold up a few things with the crop. I think this is going to be Yavimaya. You have Partial Last Minute, hold up the crop. It could just still be like Green White Depths that my opponent thinks that I'm on. I don't want to play the map there. Sure. Seven mana. Is Peer into the Abyss 7 mana? Or is it just an Ad Nausea with floating mana? I assume Ad Nausea is floating mana. They don't play Peer main? Okay. Alright, it's gonna be an Ad Nausea. 2 mana floating, Storm pretty high. Okay, this looks like it's it. So, that's pretty tough. The Peer line is 9 mana off Burning Wish? Okay, cool. That's good to know. Still going. A lot of mana. And they have Wish effects? I assume here's just a Wish into Tendrils. We do have the out, if it is like a, surely not empty. I think at this stage there's no chance they're going for an empty line, so crop into Tabernacle just isn't relevant. Alright, so we're definitely bringing in the spheres. I don't mind the forces, especially against Chromox and Wishclaw. The blast effects are also pretty interesting, and I think I'm pretty happy to think about these. Like, I don't think Needle on Wishclaw is worth it, but it could be like it's better than something else. Mazes can come out. Blast Zone can most likely come out. Caracas out. Punishing Fires. Crucible. Crops, Explorations, probably the Bomb. Shadow Spear is interesting, but probably not there. Really just a way to like make Storm obviously quite harder, but I think if we're getting to that position, we're just winning anyway. What's this looking like? 62. Moxen and Crops, fantastic. Exploration just to be on our plan. Forces, Spheres, Pyros, Needle. I don't think Endurance is that great. Like there might be a world where you can like Endurance in response to the second Rider Flame and take him off the crucial mana they needed, but I think it's just nice to have them as pressure. But maybe not. Stage, Saga, Wasteland still good. Ghost Quarter, Besieges are sweet. I don't think the Surgicals are good. Like, if I was playing Hand Disruption, I don't mind Surgical against combo, but a lot of the cards we're blasting that'll go to the bin aren't really cards we want a Surgical anyway. I still think Tabernacle's okay if they go for an empty line. It might even just be a cut on Loams potentially. Like, Loam's really for the grind, and I don't feel too great against the grind. I think this is okay. Just thinking if there's any ways in the sideboard that I can really increase my chances of some sort of turn 1 play. But I think this is probably going to be okay. You can definitely tell from the sideboard that there's a lot of cards here that we want. I don't think this is good enough. Although it does have acceleration and mana denial, which is quite nice. It doesn't have a whole lot else going for it. Like Blast really doesn't do a whole lot if they're just going off through rituals. I think I'd rather, like this hand doesn't really stop their plan and it doesn't really have a plan for us either, so I'm pretty happy to do this. I should cut Bog, yeah, that's very true. This has a sphere, which is nice. It might just be keeping the sphere and going. Hey Gran, Turbo Depths. I would look up just Turbo Depths on green black. If you search Kaz Urban on MTG Goldfish, I'm sure you will find one that's pretty recent. It's tough because this is like a sphere hand that just doesn't play it until turn 2. They did keep 7. Yeah, I think I will go a little more aggressive. Can hold up a Seiju. This is tough because I really don't want to keep the Mox on a 5, but as well I want to have access to Pyro. I think it's actually the Exploration that I'm going to drop here. Because we have the Mox Diamond to accelerate into the Saga, I'm pretty happy there. And then it could potentially just be the stage. And we go turn 1, exile the port, play Saga. Keep the Paseju and the Pyro. Something like this. Yeah, that's true. A good reason to keep the stage is because of Loam. Hey, Maverick Joe. My favorite Maverick Joe. If that makes sense. A huge thank you. Hope you're well. I have notes as well on Bant that I just have to put into real words and send you an email, but I appreciate you being here. Just a pass. Okay. Really want to draw a land here, so we can get this Saga going without... Oh, that's probably the worst draw. But I do want to get the Saga online. Is lands considered a fair deck? In the scheme of things, I would say it has unfair characteristics, but overall I would say it's pretty fair. I think that's a question where it depends on who you ask. Play the Mox over the land? That does make the Saga bigger, which is nice. Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, lands definitely has prison elements, especially the older versions as well. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking of Meltdown, but I don't think I have to worry about that out of a combo player's sideboard. Talisman is fine. Did we bring in Needle? We did. Yikes. Oh, they're gonna Truth? But can they? This sucks because they can get Wishclaw. They can Wishclaw for Veil here, and then Veil. But or could they Wishclaw for Fluster? Wishclaw for Veil? That works, right? At least I don't draw a card. Sure. Okay, we hit a Force and a Crop. LED is going to be fine, but potentially we can hit this LED when my opponent doesn't want me to hit the LED. So I think, oh, they're going to pass? Huh. With mana floating. The question now is, do I just go for the LED and Mox now? I think I do. I think we go Force Pitch, hit these two, untap. Probably make a Construct. We also have the Wishclaw, which is quite nice, to go and get Sphere. And maybe even double Wasteland through the... Yeah. Hit these two. I love this song as well. I really enjoy this song. So this is one to activate. So there's a world where I actually just want to get Sphere here and float mana. Does the Exploration change that? We need to Needle Claw. I guess the big question is I guess we can't get Sphere. Oh, we can't get Sphere off the Wishclaw. Okay. We can use this to instant speed. Okay, so we can actually... Yeah, okay, so we can do all of this. We can crack the Needle. We can crack the Wishclaw first with this on the stack. Go and get something like Sphere and then name Needle. Yeah. So off the Wishclaw, we go and get Sphere. And then this resolves. We go and get Needle. And we name Wishclaw. Main phase, Exploration. Land for turn. Sphere. And then probably Wasteland the black source? Yeah. Just to keep them from some sort of like ritual off effect. Like I've definitely been on the end of like having a Thalia in play and my opponent just ritualing through the Thalia. But I feel pretty good now because now we also have the map to find Dark Depths if needed. Keeping off Decay as well, that's a really good one. Yeah, it seems like a really nice turn. Like, even though we lost the Saga, we still got a Needle out of it, which is quite nice. Chain of Vapor, also a card to think about with the Sphere. Like, there's definitely a thought of using the map, which is 2 mana and then 2 mana to search. Okay, well that's really nice. I'm gonna draw for turn. Grove. So there's a question of, do we play the map for 2, play our first land for turn, use that 2 to crack, and find Wasteland to take them off an additional land? Or do we use that to try to win the game in 2 turns with Dark Depths? Yeah, Needle Main seems really cool. Can definitely get you out of really tight jams, especially with a lot of main deck walkers these days with things like Jace, Teferi, Khan. I don't think I want to change anything. Hey, thanks, Joe. Too kind. Hope the family's well. And shout out to your kids. Just gonna submit the same. Ooh. This is a 1-lander, unfortunately. So, pretty happy to mulligan this. Well, this actually has some interaction here, which is quite nice, so that's pretty cool. Hey, Maverick Joe. Too kind for the gifted subs. Too kind. A huge thank you. To Mike, to Alex, to Echo, to Punishing Waterfalls, to Urza. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. You guys are more than welcome. I am going to keep this, but I'm not too sure what I want to drop. I think it's a land, obviously. I think it's just going to be the Taiga, but I think that actually is just it. Keep in bottom the Taiga, keep the fetch land. Got a trophy my first shot last night, so doing well. Nice. I wouldn't expect anything less. Opponent goes to 6. Okay. Ooh. I really would have liked a green card, because then we could have potentially pitched the Force for exploration, but hear me out. I think here we just want to go land, exploration, wasteland, pass, and then the following turn Sphere. Because I don't think my opponent, I don't think the Force line will come up next turn. I think it's better to kind of play to win by turn 1 exploration, wasteland them, turn 2 play a land, Sphere. I think that's better. I don't think I care about the land that I get, but I will get a Taiga in case we draw into a blast effect. Exploration. Wasteland. I'm pretty happy just to wasteland now. There's no real downside. I guess the downside of wastelanding upkeep is like if they brainstorm and then find a way to go off, then they have the extra storm during their turn. I can only assume a brainstorm in response if they had a no turn 1 play. This also kind of forces the brainstorm, which is nice. I'm sure they would have brainstormed end step anyway, but it's nice to know that we didn't allow them not to. Oof. A pass back is really nice for us. And there's the blast. That's pretty perfect. So we can't actually hold the blast up if we play the Sphere, but that's going to be fine. At least we could blast the like a brainstorm in response to the Sphere. Opponent considering responding to us being able to tap this for mana. But at least this, I think the Red Blast here, its role is really just countering any sort of bounce spell on the sphere. Ooh, they're fetching in response, so I kind of feel like we're going to see a brainstorm here. Ooh, black. Black. A land is good here. I guess a land doesn't mean we can hold up, like, make Saga and also Red Blast, but Ghost Court is pretty sweet. Yeah, it could definitely be End of Zone Chain, which I'm pretty happy to blast. I could potentially take them off red mana here. I assume they have a basic swamp and a basic island in the deck. Maybe not. I guess we'll see what they do end step. And if they do... They have one basic? Huh. The question is, do I want to pass back or just hit the Ghost Quarter here? The only downside is that they can float mana and then potentially cast a 2-drop, which I probably don't worry about. You would kill the swamp? That's pretty interesting, yeah. Maybe I do go after the swamp here. Swamp upkeep. I am gonna Ghost Quarter upkeep. Unless they have a spell here to cast. Like the best thing they could do in response to Ghost Quarter is probably Brainstorm and then get the shuffle off the Ghost Quarter, but... Chain. Definitely hitting that. And then pretty happy to hit the swamp here. Nice. Cool. We're on the board. Sphere are overperforming in those 2 games, which is pretty cool. Alright, up against Denka. On the draw. What do we have? We have a pretty sweet hand. We have a really sweet hand. We don't have a land to get back with the loam, but like I'm pretty happy to keep a exploration loam hand with 5 lands and the combo, so. Even the dogs know about my hand. Mox? Stage. Now the question is, how much do I respect days? My opponent kept a 7. I think if I wanted to play around days, I could play the Grove, because I think my opponent would respect crop rotation potentially. But I think the upside of like if they have days, they have days, but I do like a situation where I just make them have to have it. I think I just like the Grove here. It might incentivize them not to wasteland me, because it doesn't really do anything. And next turn we can just go for the combo. Brainstorm, cool. That also might incentivize them to, okay. Hey Ari, welcome. Hope you're well. Yeah, main deck Burrow would be pretty sweet for them. Oh, okay. That's pretty sweet as well. We could combo them if we wanted to go to Yavamai, that's correct. Yeah, Albert's a really good co-streamer. If you're a big fan of Albert, you should definitely check out his own content as well on YouTube, which is pretty good. So they do have the Brainstorm. I think there's a world where we just like, if they end step Brainstorm, I don't think they will unstep Brainstorm, there's no real reason. But I don't mind. What do I want to do here? The question is, do I want to play around Loam on it? I could also just port them in upkeep. I don't mind that. And then hold up crop. That's pretty cool. Hey Perk and Dan, thanks for the follows. Hope you're both doing well. Yeah, I think porting them is quite nice. Wow, they're obviously digging for something. Maybe another wasteland potentially? Because here they only see one more. They draw 3, put 2 back, and then in upkeep they draw 3, see one new one, and then put 2 back. Sure. A Moxen would be sweet. A Moxen means we can hold up the combo. 2 lands. We need a land as well. And then also hold up something else. Ooh, Endurance. Huh. Yeah, I can do it now. Just thinking of what I want to play around. Like doing it now plays around Wasteland, which is great. I think we're definitely going to see the end step fetch. Yeah, I think I'm happy just to not be tricky and just go for it now. Like Stifle buys them a turn, potentially. But having the Loam is really nice here. Yeah, that's a very true point. We don't have a way to play around a main deck Brazen Borrower. Ooh, Swords to Plowshares potentially. Which, to be fair, here is pretty nice for us. We don't want to see Prismatic Ending, that's the card. But Swords buying us, 7 turns right now is pretty sweet. They chose to shuffle, which is fantastic for us. They can potentially buy a turn with Insectile Aberration. So if I really cared about Murktide here, I could just Endurance now, but I don't think I care about Murktide. Crop for Bog is also quite nice. I just can't think of another reason why they would fetch here other than to play a Murktide. I'm trying to think if there's a world where they could like block with the Delver, swing back with the Murktide, play another flyer, and then get in, but I think I'm happy just allowing this. If it's a borrower, it's a borrower, but if not, then... Oh, Stoneforge. Okay. This is gonna be like a Delver Blade deck, which is pretty sweet. Kaldra's gonna be too slow. Ooh, what if we crop for Blast Zone here? Yeah, we could just crop for Blast Zone and then hope we draw into a land. I guess it doesn't matter if we might as well just untap and see what happens. Same wavelength. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's just play the Yav and then crop the Yav. They do have 5 cards. Huh. But this is nice just to try to go for the win here. Like Solitude potentially. I'm not too sure on my opponent's deck, but nice to just like make sure they don't have the world, because there is a world where they run Prismatic Ending in this list, and that would be pretty tough to give them the chance to block, untap, and then play Prismatic Ending. I still think we're in a pretty strong position, but we would have to find something like a Maze pretty early for the 2-turn, I guess the 3-turn Kaldra. Delver. Delver with Kaldra complete. Kaldra doesn't really mean that I want to bring in the forces. I definitely like the blast effects. Needle on Stoneforge is interesting, but I think I'd rather just rely on my mazes to answer that. Delver means we can potentially take out the Caracas. The Bog still seems strong. Blaststone is great. Boseiju, I think we could probably drop 1. Tabernacle, I do like Tabernacle. Moxes are great, crop rotations are fine. You could trim. Yeah, it's very true if you name Wasteland with... I think Needle might just be a better card than something else here. Library we can't be too aggressive with, so I don't mind dropping the library. I think in this matchup, Loam is kind of our library draw 3. Why Thran Foundry? This is kind of tech for Doomsday, and it's also quite good against some of the graveyard decks of the format like Reanimator. So it just has that kind of flexibility, and is a target you can get with Urza's Saga, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's. I'm just going to trim on the Crop and the Crucible. I think that the Loams are a really nice way to get around. Crop's just so good though. I don't think I will play a Crop, especially because we can play around Days to some extent. Yeah, it might just be Bog. It is pretty hard to preemptively bog them out of a situation where they can Murktide. This is an odd hand. It's a double exploration hand, but nothing really else. It's only the 2 mana here. If this was a land, I would love it, but this is kind of one of those hands that feels like a trap, where it's just like, play exploration, play a land, pass. It does have Punishing Fire and Grove, which is nice, but it really depends on us being able to buy time to just draw into lands, but I think I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. 1 land. Oh, it's just a 1-lander. No. Okay. Keep this. Probably bottom. Definitely a Mox. It could just be 2 Moxes here. Keep a combo piece. A basic that can't be wastelanded, and a Grove that plays both of these. I think that's actually pretty strong for a 5. Island Pass. I don't mind Grove Pass. Means we can hold up Blast and also crop rotation if they do want to hit it. Yeah, it's a great point. Having the extra endurances also means we don't have to rely on the bog so much to target graveyards. So if they are like a Jeskai version with DRC, we still have ways to deal with that. I'm not going to go after Brainstorm here either. I think I'd rather just go after Threads. Oh, they don't have a fetch. Okay, so they are currently Brainstorm locked, which is quite nice. Which means if they upkeep the Grove, I kind of want to go towards Port off the crop. But I think maybe it's better just to go for Stage. Getting Stage online would be pretty sweet. Especially if we draw a Mox Diamond, we can then have Stage copy Forest, so it can't be wastelanded. We're definitely cropping. Ghost Quarter? Oh, they have the days. Okay. That's fine. I don't think I'm in a position where I need to blast them. But definitely an interesting decision. Because we know they're Brainstorm locks. They have 2 cards on top that they don't know about. They just played the island back to their hand. Yeah, that's true. Giving them the shuffle as well is a real pain. I'm just going to go Grove Pass. There is a world where I would actually just Red Blast a Ponder here. But potentially not. Delver. Okay, you can have your Delver. I don't have a turn 2 play anyway, so I mean that's a turn 2 play. It's a pretty good one as well. They know the card on top as well from Brainstorm. I'm pretty happy to see what they reveal first. Interesting, they didn't stack it. In that case, we'll see if they main phase something. They try to get in. Okay. I think because if they play like land into DRC, no, nothing. Okay. Well, pretty happy to go after this. Nice. Oof. Force negation here would be strong for my opponent. They are going to float blue. No. Interesting, they're going to allow me to hold up the Red Blast. And also return the Punishing Fire. Huh. I think here I'm happy to play into Surgical on Punishing Fire. Because we have the Endurance and because we have the Red Blast, I don't really care about the targets of Punishing Fire. I'd much rather Punishing Fire get taken out than the Loam, so I'm going to give my opponent a bit of a chance to maybe hit Punishing Fire here with Surgical. No. Still nothing. Definitely Loam back. Blast Zone, Maze of its Saga. Okay, now we're crawling. All right. Definitely targeting all 3. This feels broken. Loam feels broken in the decks where Loam is good. There's Surgical. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have a green card to pitch to Endurance to put our cards back to the bottom. But to be fair, getting rid of Saga here isn't that bad. Like, we have the Endurance to win games, we have the depths. I'm just trying to think if there is a way to shuffle anything to the bottom. I don't think there is. Hey, it's on me, welcome. I think this is fine. Interesting that they didn't go after the Loams. They really care about those Sagas. That's like someone going after Siege Rhino and not after Birthing Pod. I will play the Blast Zone here because it allows us to play both Punishing Fire and the Blast around days, which is pretty cool. Still nothing. Alright, we're loaming. Pyroblast, another loam, Wasteland. Okay. I wonder if they're also just trying to get to Murktide, which is interesting. Which I don't care about. We have Maze of Earth, we have a few ways to deal with that, so just gonna keep loaming here. Opponent in a really tough spot. I mean, turn 7 and they haven't drawn an extra land on top of that Wasteland. There's Ponder. I'm actually pretty happy to hit this. Yeah, like, you're not cantripping these days. Alright. We have a loam. We hit Ghost Quarter. Okay. We can also hardcast Endurance now to play around any sort of effect, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to Ghost Quarter Upkeep. I guess this gives them the option to brainstorm in response. Actually, I'm just going to let them have this. I would assume the deck plays more than one, but yeah, really nice showing of loam there, which was pretty sweet. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, but now is a great time to find me on YouTube and subscribe, or find me on Twitter and follow me. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Nice. We are back. But yeah, thanks chat. Chat's been cool. A lot of cool lines, a lot of cool explanations on different things in lands, which is always cool to see. Definitely a resource that I am very happy to have. Tugis is a land streamer now. To be fair, I love the deck. I really do love the deck. I think the only change that I would make to this list is potentially finding room for a Razorverge Thicket-esque card. Because I love Expedition Map, and I love that Expedition Map allows you to play around like a surgical on Life and Loam by finding that, putting it into your hand, and cycling, which is pretty cool. Funnily enough, I do have a friend who no longer plays, but locally played lands and does have a Tabernacle for sale, and has reached out and said, hey, I know you were interested, which I am. Would you be interested? But it's just one of those, it's one of those cards. It's very hard. Like, I do love Legacy. I play a lot online. I play once a week, maybe every few weeks due to work in paper. And it's just a case of like opportunity cost, of course, with an expensive card like that. But it would be nice. I remember seeing one at Brisbane GP, the first GP I went to, my local city, seeing one for $300 in a cabinet. And I was like, who would pay $300 for a card? Like, I was just, that was early Dukes. That was early Dukes. That was like, why would you buy Noble Hierarch at $6 when you can buy Arbor Elf as a play set for like $2? And I just didn't understand the concept of like power creep, or how some other cards are just better. Interaction, Wasteland, Beseju, Caracas, Combo, Engine, but I think I want a piece here to make this faster, and I think that's why it's there. Hey Phil, too kind. All the best, good luck. I am gonna mulligan this. I think there's a better hand with like an Exploration Alone or a Mox. This just seems like the yeah, they're kind of trap hands again, where it's just not fast enough for what lands wants to do. Okay. Okay. I'm going to keep this and bottom the Blast Zone. Turn 1 Thoughtseize wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to keep bottom the Blast Zone and then lead on the Taiga. I guess there's a world where we need to take up a Punishing Fire and I should lead on the Forest. One card I'd love chat's opinions on, and why it doesn't see play in Legacy lands anymore, or if it's kind of a flex land, is Ancient Tomb. Because Ancient Tomb obviously allows a few things. It allows you to play Saga now, like Saga turn 1, Ancient Tomb turn 2. It allows you to combo off, like, earlier. I assume like Yavimaya kind of took that spot because it allows Dark Depths to tap for mana, so it allows that kind of thing happens. For VE. I guess it also allows like a Sphere turn 1 if you don't have a Mox. What does VE stand for, sorry? Alright. The big question is, do I want the red for Punishing Fire? I guess I don't really need the red for Punishing Fire because we have the Loam. Because I don't want to lose the Forest to like the Crop if we are against a deck that I want the Forest against, like a Wasteland deck. Tomb got kind of replaced by Yav. Yeah, that's where I would kind of put it down to as well. And I guess the 2 life can definitely be relevant as well. It's so like, I think a lot of players, especially me, are very ignorant to lands and see lands as lands. Red-green lands, maybe Bant lands, maybe Bug lands, maybe 8 Mulch I would put in a different category. But like, this deck isn't running Valakut Exploration, which I think is definitely Legacy playable to some extent, especially in a deck like lands. Elvish Reclaimer, probably the best green creature in Legacy right now. Isn't in this list, but I know that it's definitely lands playable. There's just so many different ways to go it. I will update that right now. Thanks, Autonomy. No! Cool. Collection, Saga lands, export, Saga lands. Ooh, Unmask? Yikes. We have the crop for Bog. I guess we could crop now for Caracas to turn off Grizzle? Like, is that a thing? Maybe that is, because like if we don't draw into a way for Grizzlebrand to... Yeah, I think we just have to. Alright, Cardboard Live being updated. So Bog here does nothing. Maze of It doesn't really do anything, especially if they have Archon. I think the best card here is just going to be Tab. Yeah, Archon's going to be really strong. Huh. That's interesting. No, they'll definitely play basics. I was going to say there's a world where we could go for like Tabernacle, untap Wasteland them, but I think if they got... Yeah, I think it's just going to be Caracas here. Hey Reap, very cool to see you. I'm surprised you don't play Green White Red Depths anymore. It's just tough. It's tough rotating decks because like I love playing Bant Depths, Bant Maverick. That was really fun. Oh, they're gonna target themselves. Oh, I should have. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should have. I should have actually checked who they were targeting with Unmask before using the crop. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Archon's gonna be an issue. Yeah, I know, that's a real punt. Sorry, that was very much like a streamer punt where I was just talking to chat, having a good time. Let's have a quick look. This game's gonna be quite... Oh, come on, MTGO. Do we have an out to Archon? Not really. Yeah, that's a tough one. All right, let me update Coupled Live, finish talking to chat, and then we can sideboard and win the next 2 games. All right, Coupled Live updated, nice. Begin sideboarding. I like the surgicals. I like the spheres, especially on the play, and I do like the endurances. Force is always interesting. I'm going to cut a lot of the kind of grindy parts of the deck. Thraben's good, yeah. Blast Zone. Hey Frisky Business. Currently 2-0, which is nice, but down a game against Reanimator. I don't mind Needle. It's just a better Saga target, and just having it for Grizzle is quite nice. Tabernacle is definitely interesting. I think it's worth just having there in case they have a mana situation where we can take them off mana and then tab them to take out a creature. But maybe, yeah, maybe that's just too much. Like, is Force just better than, like, Exploration and Tab? Yeah, I think Force of Vigor for Animated is pretty huge. This might be it. This is a lot of stuff, so... Yeah, I don't mind testing this. I don't think this is good enough. Some really nice cards, but just a little bit too slow. Yeah, Serenity's also a big card. Well, if I'm not keeping the first hand, I'm definitely not keeping this one. Look, it has Surgical, and it has Crop with Mox. Bottom 2 Moxen. This is a big yikes. But I don't think it gets better at 4. I guess there's no point playing the Mox Diamond because I have to crop anyway. I might as well play out the map. Yeah. Which is pretty tough. But Crop does allow me to draw into Endurance if we get a turn. It's a really big shame about the first game. See what they have. Entomb, double reanimate. Yikes. Oh, they're on show and tells as well. I guess show and tell is a reason to bring in the blasts. I didn't think of that. Tough, the punts are real. Yeah. Nice. Tough. That's true, spheres aren't too bad against the show and tells. But yeah, I think Reanimate is pretty good. Have a lot of interaction. Archon's probably the biggest concern, and potentially that new Angel on land, so you can't Caracas or Maze. But yeah, always check on MTGO if you're being targeted with Undermask or if your opponent's targeting themselves. That is probably the big one there. Sarah's Emissary, thank you, that is it. Alright, on the play, which is nice. With, like, combo, sure, but not too much else. Pretty happy to mull there. Yeah, it was unfortunate to give away the first game like that. Should always check the targeting of Unmask. This does have a loam. I'm gonna bottom the blast zone. There is a world with bogs there. It's probably between these two. I think bog's probably a little bit more relevant than blast zone, but it's definitely close. I like that bog gives it immediate value. Blast zone is going to take a while to get online. Okay. I would laugh if they named Knight of the Reliquary. Probably Swords to Plowshares, I think. Yeah, Swords to Plowshares, that's fair. Okay. Saga. Maybe this is like a Jund Veteran Explorer deck. Okay. At least we have a basic to get. Oh, we have 2 basics. That's kind of cool. Crop rot, sure. Another one, sure. We hit a punishing fire, which is pretty terrible here. We also hit a ghost quarter, which is probably pretty terrible against our veteran explorer deck as well. All right, so we do get this. I like playing depths. One, two, one, two. One. Yeah, so we can play Depths and we can play the Windswept Heath, and then we have 2 mana for Loam, 2 mana for Saga, 1 mana to get back the Punishing Fire if we need it. Yeah, GQ not that bad if we have nothing to do, which is nice. Happy just to pass back here. Not too sure what I'm getting with the Saga. Probably just Thespian stage off Expedition map. I think Assassin's Trophy I might have to look out for. Also this. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Each player sacks a creature, you draw a card and you lose a life, or transform it. You transform it into a flying Death Touch lifelink creature that's legendary, so you can Karakas it, which is relevant. On either side. 3 mana, each creature you control with flying, Death Touch, and or lifelink gets +1/+1. Okay. Maps in graveyard? Okay. We can play around that. Oh, we can double Punishing Fire. Which is pretty cool. Always cool to see like new cards being tested out in Legacy. Even if they don't make it to being Legacy playable, I think it's really cool to see people actually testing cards. I think we don't see enough of that. Is actually testing their card instead of just saying it's not Legacy playable and moving on. Alright, definitely Loam. We hit an Endurance. We do want to make a creature here. And then we can play 2 lands and then double Punishing Fire this, so it's all good. I don't mind the spheres, the Shadow Spear. Spellbomb draws a card, but I don't think that's good enough. Mox is interesting, but don't really care. I actually don't think we have a Windswept Heath target left in the deck, so I should check that before we play it for turn. We have 2 Tigers, and yeah, we don't. So I won't be playing that for turn. Ooh, which actually means we don't have the mana for double Punishing Fire this turn. Punishing Fire, return, play Ghost Quarter, and then we need a red source. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Loam back, Saga, Wasteland, Foothills. And then take your opponent off mana here. Double green. I don't mind just equipping here. Getting in for 4. If I had red mana up, I could try to like Punishing Fire them. Or like Punishing Fire then return it. If they're just gonna pump this, that's more than fine. Yeah, that's cool. Hey Axel, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. And hey Itchy, apologies I missed. A huge thank you for the sub. Dried Arbor. Okay. Opponent really missing here. Saga, Exploration, Port. Fetch lands are pretty useless. Get back these 3. Play a Saga. Play a Wasteland. Waste them. We'll attack with both. This is fine. I don't think I'll make a Saga here. I'd rather just keep it for end step in case they have some sort of sweeper. Nothing. Pretty happy to Ghost Court of the Dried Arbor here just to keep them off some sort of Planeswalker. Which does keep me off the Saga token. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe not. I'm thinking of Ugin, which is 8 mana. So maybe I do have a turn just to hold this. Create another Saga token. Pernicious Deed here would be pretty brutal. Sure. I don't think... Yeah, maybe Ugin doesn't actually kill the constructs because they're colorless. That's a really good point. Nice. Seiju. Yep. Oh, no, it's fine. There's no lands left, I believe, that I could get anyway. Please be right on that. Wow, they're going to attack. And pump. Alright. I can actually get this back right now. Leaves me with 2 mana for Saga. I don't have any jewels left, unfortunately. Just the 2 Tigers. Alright, Loam. Nothing. Oh, can we get there with our Pyrite Spellbomb? I think we can. Oh, we're so close. Make him 6s. Yeah, I think it might be enough. Red. They have to gain a life though. But maybe that's so close. I think we're one off because they gain a life. Because it'll be we can make a construct, which would make these all make it 18. They go to 4. But then we need another red source. I do only need 2 red. That's very true. There we go. Nice. Yeah, for some reason I'm thinking we needed 3 red, but we do not. They go to 4. Spellbomb them. Nice. Punishing fire them. Chat lethal. There it is. There it is. Alright. This is going to be an interesting one. Spellbomb for the win is very nice. Crack is pretty good there, seeing that. I'm just not sure if I really want anything. The only thing I can think of is Needle, because they most likely have walkers, and they're potentially the Force of Vigors. I don't think we want the surgicals. Endurance is interesting, but it's really just these. I could potentially drop a Wasteland here. I think that's okay. Maybe just Needle for Wasteland, seeing we have the Besagers. Like Crucible I could see coming out. Like the Crucible Lock isn't really a thing for 1 force. I don't mind that. Waste better than Ghost Quarter? I do like that we can Ghost Quarter our opponent off a color, if necessary. Cut Ghost Quarter before Wasteland? Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with just the Needle and the Force. Just try to go for a 20/20 as soon as possible. Speaking of, but sadly, no green mana, no colored mana at all. The reason I like Bog is if they go for a an early like Cabal line, and then we can take them off the Cabals being flashbacks. Yeah, I don't mind trying this out. Like if I can make them play a Veteran Explorer, or even just a tab here is pretty funny. Just to keep them off this Dried Arbor. Yeah. They can lose it on purpose, but I'm okay with that, especially with this hand. Force. Stage, because if we draw into Yavimaya, we can crop for Dark Depths and just get there. Hey, Wafo. A huge thank you for the raid. A massive raid. How did you go? What did you play? And yeah, welcome everyone from Wafo's stream. My name is Dukes on Twitch. I am a legacy streamer. Pretty happy to take out the library here. We don't have any ways of actually ramping to cast it anyway, so I'm just getting rid of the endurance. Yeah, stream legacy Maverick, but also fair decks. I think I'm actually happy to keep my opponent off the swamp for a turn, but I also kind of want to play the Saga here to get it online. I think Saga is actually better. Yeah, because Saga getting towards map for a Dark Depths is also relevant. Can also Thespian stage the forest, which is nice. Elemental. Okay. Mox. Interesting. Mox is perfect here because we can just hold up crop for the combo. Get rid of Saga. Port's nice because I can keep my opponent off Sudden Edict, which I might expect. Run Afoul could be played. Hey Wafo, welcome. How did you go? And what did you play? Yeah, I think it might be Saga. Play Port. Oh, we could also Loam. Yeah. A little bit weird here by not porting. It kind of shows that we have something, but I think that's okay. Played Legacy Blue-White 4-1. Nice. Is that like a straight control list, or are you playing like a Stoneforge package? Double black. Yeah, now I don't mind cropping away tab for the Yav and then just going on Saga. Also, Stage and Saga here are just really nice. So here... yeah, just float mana and copy it. I don't mind map here, just gives me another line. I think that's better than Shadow Spear. Oh, now we can also, oh, this is pretty cool. We can loam back 3 lands, play 1 for turn, pitch 1 to Mox, then hold up the map as well. So we will play Saga out. And then probably just pitch the Tabby here to the Mox. Endurance is fine. It targets us. That's going to be okay as well. Yeah, this game will get to see a pretty cool interaction where a Thespian stage copy of Urza Saga can copy a forest and basically become a unstoppable forest factory of Urza tokens, which is pretty cool. But opponent with no real plays. Like, they played Sylvan Library. They might have just kept a hand with like a really big walker. I'm not too sure. Like Pernicious Steed would be pretty good here. 4 mana, 5 mana. I guess it is already a forest. Correct. Green Suns for 5. Huh. This is interesting. They could be bluffing and going for Collector Oof, which makes me want to use the map. If they get something like Saga, it's pretty tough. But I think here I will just use the map and potentially just get Dark Depths. I'm not too sure what I would want to Caracas though. It could be Titania. Yeah. Well, I guess the question is like, do I care about Titania if I'm getting Dark Depths? We're up a game, so I don't mind going for Dark Depths here. And probably making it main phase to play around Assassin's Trophy. Elder Gargoyle, okay. That's fair. Alright, so both of these go up. Hey Barra, thanks for the follow. Play the Dark Depths. No great attacks, so we just pass back. Yeah, I wish this card saw more play as like a fan of big green cards, but sadly not really up to Legacy standards, and Modern's just a little bit too quick. I think I've seen it in some like green-red Ponza lists, but with new printings it's quite hard to... Oh, they play Caracas? That's fine. We have the port for Caracas, but then they can just block, which is pretty tough. I guess we can port Caracas, make the 2020, and then use Stage to go and find Pithing Needle to then name Caracas. That's probably the play. So let's go tap down this. One, two. Sage is pretty good as well. Spear is also pretty good. Yeah. I should have thought of Spear. But they can double block. Yeah, I think I shouldn't have made the token. I should have just Besaged the Caracas and then got Shadow Spear. I don't mind this because it allows us to cast Besage on Caracas in response to a removal spell on the Needle. This could just be a Endurance. Okay. That's fine. That is another blocker, but we do have this Saga in play going towards a Shadow Spear, which is cool. Yeah, Lands is sweet. I think Lands is a really good deck to improve your sequencing. Huh. The question here is, am I willing to double block? I actually don't mind seeing if my opponent has something. Vigilance, reach, trample. I actually just like taking this, to be fair, because next turn our constructs are going to be pretty massive. Sure. I guess I can like tap them down off the Krakus first. Which allows me to hold the Boseiju for one more turn in case we draw into like a wasteland. Keep this around. That definitely blows up in my face if they have another removal spell for their Needle in response at instant speed. Yeah, it's pretty good. Crop. Okay, so we can crop for Wasteland, which is kind of nice. We definitely play the Grove. And now we have 3 mana, 2 for Boseiju, 1 for Crop. I'm going to attack first. See how they block. Thinking they still have the Krakus around. We don't play Step. Lands doesn't typically play Sajiri Step. Unfortunately, that would be pretty cool. Ah, this is legendary! So Boseiju is 1 less. I should have picked up on that. That's pretty cool. Another great reason to play Boseiju in this list. Did we keep in the Bog? We did keep in the Bog. So if they have like a Loam effect, or like a way to get back the Krakus, we do actually have a way to beat that. But this is interesting, because we are at 11. I don't think I need to like crop for Maze here. I think I'm okay going to 5. Yeah, I mean, going down to 5 is real. They get to block, and then if they have like another creature. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go to 5 either. That's very true. And it is just Maze here that's best. Having Vigilance means it doesn't really do too much either, other than just save a bit of life, but that's okay. Witherbloom? Oof. Yikes. Ah, yikes. Yep. To be fair, Crop wouldn't have done anything about that, so... and there's really nothing so far that makes me want to change anything. Yeah, I'm pretty happy just running this back. Sphere's definitely interesting. But I'm not too sure what I would want to take. Oh, no. Yikes. 2, 4, 6. No, there they are. Okay. I do like this hand, especially with the Loam as well. Turn 1, Saga. Yeah. The Shadow Spear is kind of a 6 anyway, so... this hand seems pretty cool. Play Saga. Play Mox. Pitch the port. Get back. Port. What's this? What's this little thing? I've never seen this before. What is this? How do you get that away? Oh, it sticks with the card? Alright, we'll put that over there. I have never seen that before. MTGO is a quality program, nice. Hey Pete, thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well. All right. Hey GP, thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Loam hits. Another Saga. Probably could have played the stage that turn, but hopefully this is okay. Thankfully, we do have a Seiju for like a Deed, but Deed here trades with Saga and Mox, and like also the construct. Big yikes. I guess we do have like, we can get stuff back with the loam. It's not too bad. Yeah. But I also have to consider time here, so I might just focus a little bit more on this match. Because this game is quite grindy. Hey Ramar, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I chose Punishing Fire. I don't think I want to loam here. I want to try to draw into like an exploration. Crop's not too bad either. That's next turn. Actually, I also get to just play the Shadow Spear here, and then just tap them off black in upkeep. Oh, sorry, green. Punishing Fire off the Cabal Therapy makes me think they have Witherbloom in hand. But they do nothing. That's really interesting. Again, like Punishing Fire would be kind of cool. We can crop for a red source. Haha! You love to see it. Stage. And now we can just hold up the combo and also Punishing Fire as an alternate. And we beat a blocker, yeah, if it is a small. Endurance. Sure. Target us. Sure. I think I'm pretty happy to try to go for it here. Probably just getting rid of the port. Just have to look out for like a sudden edict. Probably the big card. Nothing? Okay. Endurance. Here I just want to float mana. Can't do anything else, of course. Oh, Shadow Spear. Does Shadow Spear do it? Oh, where's Shadow Spear? It's in play. Interesting. What are we doing? 2 mana to equip. We play a land for turn. It might be Mox. Get rid of Saga. We have 1 floating. So we can loam back things. Play a land for turn. Equip Shadow Spear. Yeah, it's got to fade that combo, which is tough. I think that's loose then. I think I should just attack with the Marit Lage and hold up Punishing Fire instead of equipping. With the Moxen, potentially. Yeah, I think that's probably the better play. I don't think there's a need there for the Shadow Spear. We needed the extra land, I think, to get back because we only had 3 mana left over. We had 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, but nice to get there on that one. Pretty cool game. Always kind of interesting to play against a Nick fit deck with a combo finish like that. Yeah, the time difference was huge there, and I didn't feel like I was playing too slowly. There were definitely some turns there where I had to take a little bit more time with sequencing my lands, but overall, That guarantees they die the following turn. Yeah, I guess it does little things as well, like turn off fetch lands, but if it is a combo I'm playing around, they already have the mana for that, so we'll go back. We'll go back and analyze it another day. But yeah, that deed was a big blowout. Jide, you were 100% correct. Lands, I feel like lands is a deck without spells because you don't have the time to cast them. you kind of have to put your time into other things. And narrating is definitely in that scheme of things you can't do while playing lands. Yeah, especially like I think I'm a little bit blessed by playing it on MTGO where you have all the triggers, but even little things like when to loam. So close, so close. Just not being able to cast these is too big of a setback. Okay, it's pretty sweet. I'm just gonna bottom a stage here and potentially try to go for double port. Yeah, because you could like turn one loam back the foothills and then just start porting and playing a land each turn. I think that's okay. I think there's probably a world where it's better to keep the stage, but I kind of like holding double port. Really cool art as well. Big fan of the Legacy Super League, I believe it was called, that Julian did with the animated art. Very, very cool. Pony goes to 6. Now the question is, how much value do I want to get off this port? Because I could play the Wooded Foothills here and then get it back, but I could also play the port here, loam, and then next turn potentially Loam back a Wasteland? I guess it doesn't really matter because next turn I'm most likely casting Loam, not holding up Port. Look at this. Look at this. Too good. Too good, Matt. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's just go with Port. Oh, Force Negation. Okay, that's a really good card here. Pitching a Daze. Wasteland's okay. Opponent down to 4. Endurance. That is a fantastic draw. Foothills here allows me to play around the Daze. I actually am just going to play this now as well to play around Stifle, which has been showing up in 1 or 2 lists. And we do have the Moxen for a red card if needed, so I can only assume my opponent here. Ooh. Also happy to respond to the fetch land with Endurance here to play around Daze, if they don't play another land. Volk. DRC. Sure. In this case, I'm just going to copy the forest now so the stage can no longer be wastelanded. Sage is actually quite nice here because it allows us to play around Daze with the Endurance. Hey, Panda. Ah, these are sick. Yeah, I saw these the other day. These are very, very cool. You can actually see I've already where are we? Already hit that like button. But yeah, really, really cool. Big fan. I think if they end step Brainstorm, I'm going to Endurance in response. Like after. Or Bolt me. They're down to 2 cards now as well. If they've been here, yeah, if they've been here... It's tough though, because I could get the DRC if they hit I actually am going to try to get the DRC. I really hope they have a... They don't, okay. They do attack. We play Endurance. Target here. This forces them to have like a lightning bolt effect to kill the Endurance. Oh, this is going to return? Okay, this is fine. I mean, that's one less return effect for Dark Depths, which is pretty huge. Maze is a pretty nice card here as well. Also, just to hold them off, like Force blue card, I don't mind just playing the Endurance here. I do lose some value if they have like a turn one, a main phase 1 Ponder or something, but I think this is okay. Yeah, there's the Ponder. We do have the Bog as a backup, so not too bad. See what the Ponder does here. They are down on cards, so it has to be a pretty good top if they want to keep it. And they chose not to shuffle, so... Maybe they found another Ponder. Or Expressive Iteration. You got me. And again, happy just to play this Bog next turn. Even attack with the Endurance. We have the Maze, which is quite nice. They do have Wastelands in the deck, but we can also copy the other Maze with Thespian Stage, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I really like Kai's work. I mean, these are incredible constructs. Very, very cool. And then we also have the Thopters. I love this. I want these. I want these. Ah, no. I do want Kai to do a Marit Lage token for me. I don't have a great Marit Lage token, so I think Kai, it makes sense. Like, Kai is just the best answer for it. Nuts. Oof. Okay. Yeah, I think we bog and make Lage now. Yeah, that's pretty tough for them. We have Bog in hand. So yeah, play Bog there. They lose the flying on this. Pretty sweet. Delver. Let's quickly check out here. I was gonna keep the bog in case they had a force effect to then bog the force effect as well. But sacking the bog also does make some sense because then we could potentially get it back if we really need it. If the game goes long with our own endurance. All right. And the new subs and also a big one to X Greenham for the raid. A huge thank you. Really nice to have the old Delver killer here. I want to hear how we sideboarded it last time.
The Murktide deck.
Ah, like the Delver one.
Yeah. But yeah, we want all the blast and all the endurances you have.
All the blasts and all the endurances, that makes sense. I'm going to assume it's library, definitely. Caracas as well.
And then what we don't like Caracas.
Caracas, cool.
I don't like Pithing Needle, but you already... Yeah, Sylvan Library I don't like either.
Yep.
I think you can, again, cut one crop rotation.
Yep. Especially against the 4 sticks.
To. And then... let's think. Yeah, I think you can cut... but how many cards do we need?
Seiju.
Two. You show me your lands. I think Buyuka Bog makes sense to keep around because it slows them down. Potentially we can cut like a Beseiju. I also sometimes cut like 1 or 2 Ursa Saga.
Yeah. See, I like cutting Saga over Bog just because Bog can buy you time against like a DRC start. How many Greenlands main? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think this is pretty good. Do you ever go down to 3 loam? Being a beginner on the deck, I haven't hit that yet. Hit that level of expertise, but I am sure there are people who do. This is tough. I don't think we keep this just because we have the it's a 1-laner, but it's so close. Like if there's a 1-laner I'm keeping, it's pretty close to this on the draw. Especially with the loams, we can get back the mana from Moxen, but like a surgical on loam would be pretty brutal. I think it's a bit like Maverick, where I just want to make my mana set and then have the luxury of good spells on top of that. Oh, sorry. Hey Sharu, welcome. Hope you're well. I am going to mulligan this. I think it's a little bit too aggressive for my kind of play patterns to keep a one-lander, even though the double blast and crop is quite nice. Okay, pretty happy to keep this. But again, it really needs that loam effect. It does have exploration. It does have blast and crop. It also has a way to actually deal with a creature. A better 5 is pretty tough. I think being up a game as well, I'm happy to like just maybe do a little bit for science and see how this plays out. Opponent kept 7. There we go. That should be better. Saga. The question is, am I okay losing the Taiga to a wasteland? Like, I don't mind just playing Spellbomb out off the Saga, potentially? No, off the stage. Hey DJ, welcome. Thank you very much for the follow. But yeah, Panda, that's a good point. Especially against a Wasteland deck and an aggressive deck like Delver, it can be pretty tough not having those hands where you have the extra green source. Okay. Yeah, and I think as a player who really enjoys just having a mana base where I can cast what I really need to, like when I want to do things, then having my mana correct is probably a pretty good thing to look at. Yikes. They bottom a Bolt. That's pretty interesting, because to me that shows that they're not being too aggressive, or they already have a hand with like double Bolt. Because I don't think it's out of it's unlikely that my opponent isn't thinking of maybe Elvish Reclaimer in this deck, but maybe bottoming the Bolt here just means they have a Murktide and they want to get towards Murktide. They play a Sanctuary tapped. Well, that's fine. Punishing Fire. Well, that's... I kind of like that. The issue is, if we Punishing Fire this playing around Daze, and then they have Murktide next turn with Wasteland to take out the Taiga, it's pretty rough. I don't mind Saga here. Saga pass. I think just because of Murktide, I'm happy to take a hit from the DRC. We can also potentially get towards stage copy Taiga. Now this is, I think this is worth hitting with Red Elemental Blast. But it does take our whole turn away. Yeah, let them surveil first. Keep Blast for Murktide. They keep on top. Yeah, I think I have to kind of stay on course of what my gut feeling is that we lose this matchup to Murktide, not so much the card advantage. Yeah, protecting with bounce is also crucial. That takes another turn. Well, now that they don't have Murktide coming down this turn, this is actually an interesting one, because if they hit a creature or an artifact, the DRC does flip and then we can't Punishing Fire it. But if we Punishing Fire here in response to the Brainstorm, then they get more information about the Brainstorm. But I think getting the DRC off the table is just better. Kind of make them reset their threat. Oh, do they have like a Tarfire? That'd be pretty interesting. Bolt. Okay. Try to hit a creature or artifact here. They don't. Yeah, they have one Murktide exiled, which is kind of nice. Actually, yeah, I think I don't mind drawing with Bomb here, just to make sure I don't get taken off this Taiga. This is where I would love to see Choke in the deck as well. I think Choke is a pretty fantastic card. Maze is pretty sweet, let's be honest. Grove. Okay, Grove is pretty good now as well. I could represent the Dark Depths here, but I think I'm just going to go on the Urza plan for a little while. This is quite nice as well, because we can now Saga and also hold up Crop or Elemental Blast through the Taiga. Delve is fine. That's a threat that I do not care about. Like, even surgically on the Punishing Fire, I really don't mind this. Like, we have so many answers to the Delver. We have a red Elemental Blast for a Murktide. This is my opponent now losing a card as well. We've already got the value off the Punishing Fire. Like, I'm not even going to use the mana here to use the red Elemental Blast. There's no real need for it. Alright, weird. I think I'm going to make use of the Saga here by cropping it. Probably just for another Saga. There's a small thing here that I could make a token, but it doesn't play around days. Make construct equip. Yeah, definitely a few things we can do. I do like trying to take their resources away through tokens, make them spend bolts, and just run out of cards, so then we know that like the room is clear for Dark Depths. Hey Morrison, welcome. I definitely have a bug for lands at the moment, especially watching Ali's decks as well. Sorry guys, this is a big decision. I am just gonna float mana. I'm actually just going to bog my opponent, I think, if this resolves. I mean, if they force it, we also have Blast on that. I don't mind that because then the crop getting bog answers Murktide to some extent as well. Is lands doing better than Maverick nowadays? I would say so. I would say that there's like a conglomerate of kind of like Maverick, Green White Depths, lands, 8 mulch, and there's definitely more competitive versions of one over the other. But yeah, lands feels really solid. I mean, on Monday with Ali, we went 6-0 against Blue Red Delver. I probably should have played a land that actually taps for mana so I could equip and hold up Blast, but I think it's going to be okay just holding the Blast. Oh no, because we still have a mana floating. Apologies. Of course. Yeah, lands just feels really nice and efficient, and I really like some of Ali's builds that are just a bunch of 4-ofs, which is really, really cool from a consistency perspective. They hit a force. I'd love to put my opponent in a position where they have to bounce the token. Yeah, I think if lands gets even 2 turns against combo, you usually have then enough to set up something like a sphere. Or maybe blast something. Meltdown. That is going to be a-okay. Now I'm pretty happy. Ooh. If we play Dark Depths here, we have 2 mana to activate and we can hold up Blast. If we play Exploration, we get 2 lands. And then we still have 2 mana and hold up Blast. So I think it is correct just to play the Exploration here. This also answers like a Wasteland effect. Second Delver, okay. So they have 3 cards in hand, we know 1 is Force of Will. They don't attack. Well, now I'm pretty happy to make it. Blast Zone? Wasteland. Wasteland's pretty good as well. So I could blast the insect here. A few options. We do have maze as well, so I think we do that. I think we played a little bit slower, but I think we're just in such a good spot that it doesn't really matter. Vigilance, yeah, Vigilance Lage is very good. I don't think they play a mountain anymore, so taking them off red here is quite nice. Oh, they play no more. Huh. Yeah, Matt says GG's, so pretty nice to get that. That takes us 8-0 against Blue-Red Delver, which is a fantastic feeling. As a player who has been on the wrong side of a Blue-Red Delver for a little while, it's really nice. So we went 4-1. We went 4-1, which is pretty nice. And to be fair, that punt against Reanimator was real tough, but really nice to get up. I think we're doing another. Let's all right. Here's a poll. Oh. Oh, the poll doesn't meet requirements. Hey Mocha, thank you very much. Hey Bin, not at all. I hope you can go forth and get a trophy. I do want to do another. Yeah, let's do another. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be back in a second for another league.